Okay. Welcome back.
Hey.
We're at the Jits and Booch podcast. It's my man Kale Fit. I'm Joel Bowie. And yeah, we're back here to talk jiu-jitsu and talk everything that's going on right now. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was this morning. I woke up early and I went out and harvested some medicinal plants and like noni and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna start making my tinctures and just some of the juice that I like just to stay healthy. Probably pitch out to people too.
What do you put with it?
I just take, so like with the noni for example, I collected a bunch of fruits that had fallen on the ground and some that were already ripe, and what I do is I put it into a big jar, you know, wash them off and everything, put it onto a big jar, close up the jar, let it sit out in the sun, and let it sit there for like 2 weeks, and then the fermentation, it just starts to milk out, like all the juice.
Wow.
And then, yeah, it's very concentrated and potent, and then you strain out the fruit, you take the juice, put it in just little, you know, jars, and then people can take like a tablespoon, sip on it, and it's like, supposedly in the science, it has a lot of antiviral, anti-cancer type properties. And there was this one time, this multi-level marketing business, they did a whole noni juice business. I forget what it was called, but that was.
Oh, I remember.
You remember that?
I remember. What was that called?
Thing?
I think I bought a bottle or I tried
Back
to
in
sell
the day,
a bottle.
bro.
It was purple or something, right?
Yeah.
It was like, what was the name of that?
They
shit?
mixed other stuff in it, but they did a whole like
I remember
pyramid
that
scheme
thing.
business, and people got mad rich off of the noni.
They did, but you know what was crazy is like how much that bottles those they were selling. It was just sitting there forever.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not fresh juice. You,
No,
you know, you guys don't know how juice works. Like people are like, well, this is a magical potion.
They
Like,
were saying that.
it's just juice and it's not fresh.
No, you want to do it legit.
Man, what
from
was
the fruit.
that called, bro?
I
If
don't
you
know.
figure that, if you remember in the middle of the
I could
podcast,
look
you
it
gotta
up.
just blurt it out.
I could look it up, but yeah. So that's what I did this morning, and so I got like my knife on, and I forgot that I had it.
I
And
saw
then-
you with the knife, and I was thinking, holy shit, the purge.
This is like my harvesting knife, bro. Just going like if I had to clear off brush or whatever.
You know what's crazy is if the money stops coming, right? If people stop making money, then like, how are they gonna eat? Right? And that's where the purge begins. That's where you're gonna see some purging. You know, like I do believe that Maui and Hawaii, in general, I would say more like the smaller islands.
Yeah.
They got a lot of food. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just there.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to eat some stuff,
Yeah.
you know, there's wild boar, there's chickens,
everything.
there's fruit,
Yeah,
there's
they're all over.
avocados. So there is a lot of that. So I feel like we might have less purging,
I feel like that too, and
Less
I feel like
purging, but
there's
then-
a lot more people growing food too.
but we're gonna sit back and witness the mainland, like some of the spots in the mainland, like
If it gets crazy, yes.
oh, I bet you it's happening. Right
I think, well, like I was over just at my house, and then what had happened? My friend had given me a call, and he was talking about how his son was on this Instagram page where they post up fights and stuff just all over Hawaii, and his son was just tripping out. He's like, man, there's like 2-3 fights being posted a day on this Instagram, where before everything it was like, you know, you'd get like 1 or 2 a week.
You never know if that guy's just looking for anything
And that too.
on YouTube and then
That too, and
recording
saying
it
it's
on
on
his
Oahu.
camera and just posting it,
Yeah.
posting it.
But it was like,
Or even if it is
the
Oahu, like,
tensions.
you know, old ones. Yeah, but hopefully not.
yeah,
The
hopefully not.
tension's got to be crazier over on Oahu.
Well, when you got high
With the
concentration,
with the traffic.
yeah, high concentration of people, and like they're all vying for whatever toilet paper, canned foods, hand sanitizers and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like you were telling me earlier, it's like if you want something, man, you gotta wake up early and get to the store and then run and go.
What's
get
crazy
what you
is
need.
like I got to the store and I was looking around and I was like, I don't see anybody too threatening. And then I was just like, you know, at first I look around, I'm like, is there anyone threatening physically? I mean, I know that you could be a jiu-jitsu master and look like Orion or Mikey Musumeki or one of these guys, and they'll
Someone small
they'll
and
strangle you, you know. But like
non-threatening.
for the most part, I can kind of tell who's by their vibe, by their style, by their look, who would do well in a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was surrounded by feeble people. Feeble people that need that toilet paper in their mind so bad. And I was like,
Security.
I was
please.
just like, told myself, I had a crazy thought just go through my head. I'm like, I'm not going to run. But the second that I see that there's no toilet paper for me,
Yeah.
somebody's getting taken. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I actually thought. That's what I actually thought.
See, that's what happens, bro. Panic is freaking infectious, man. It'll reach you.
It didn't. I almost wanted to take it just because they're being punks more than
That's
me
how I
needing
feel.
it.
Just
Me
the
needing it. Be
principle
like,
of
you
it.
know what? Just the fact that I'm okay not having toilet paper. You know what? And you're freaking out so much about having to have it.
Exactly.
Now I need to.
Now I want
I
it.
need to teach you a lesson.
See, that's the
It's
thing.
almost like a jujitsu lesson.
That's what happens. How what kind of jiu-jitsu lesson would you compare it to?
Learning how to tap.
Learning how to tap.
Learning how to tap. Yeah. You gotta, because like otherwise your shit's gonna break, and you just have to accept Johnny can kick my ass.
Yeah.
And when Johnny gets close, I better tap.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm gonna die. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like every time. So when you know, you kind of recognize at that moment if it came down to just you and Johnny
Yeah.
in the aisle
Yeah.
over the toilet paper.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for you to run. You have to either take Johnny out or he takes you out. Johnny's the one walking away with the toilet paper.
Yeah.
So you're better off to befriend Johnny.
Yes.
see if you can get a, see if you can get a
Better
roll.
off being friends with
Homie,
Johnny.
let me get a roll. You know.
Yeah, man, is that right, Johnny?
You don't want to make an enemy with the guy who can kill you. You know, in the toilet paper aisle these days.
Man, but that's what people are doing. They're legit fighting over.
No,
this.
I'm being kind of serious.
Yeah, right. I feel you.
I'm being kind of
That's
serious.
serious.
But that's why I seen a couple videos of people legit fighting, and I'm like, oh, now my daughters need it. My wife needs it.
More than ever.
Let's see who can fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See
It's
who's
almost
down.
like the world gave people a certain amount of time to figure out your skills.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. Dude.
Right? Now look, if you're a child, there's no way that your skills are gonna really be up to par as far as like killing another human.
Right.
But with your bare hands, right? Obviously, we're not talking guns, but even that is a skill that so you have a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a child, your parents would need to protect you. So
Right.
it's really the certain amount of time for the adults that are 17 and above, I'd say,
Sure.
maybe 16 and above.
Yeah.
If you're 16 years or older, your whole life has been a test to see if you can survive the fucking Hunger Games now. And so, like, the people that got black belts in their time, the people that went hunting all the time, they know how to use the scopes and all that stuff.
They're down.
The people that practice knife fighting at a knife fighting place, the people that went to Jeet Kune Do, martial arts in general.
Yes.
The people that
Full
got
on.
mastered.
Yeah.
The people that mastered hunting and fishing and all that too.
Subsistence living. Yeah.
Now
Here it is.
It all
They're the
was worth-
survivors.
It was all worth it, man. It was all
Dude.
worth it.
That's
What's
how you
crazy?
feel about. That's how you feel about this.
That's just the truth.
It's like,
But, like-
like proving ground type shit.
I just, it seems funny when you start talking about The Purge or Hunger Games, and you're like, oh, it's a silly movie, but it's like kinda.
Yeah, it's real though.
You start seeing more and more posts and hearing more and more things and getting more and more texts from people.
Dude.
I can't tell you the number of, well, I can tell you, I think there's 3 different people. But like, they were like texting me and telling me, I gotta get a gun, I'm going to get a gun, they're out of ammunition. Something about guns, I'm like, fuck.
No.
I don't know if they're talking about hunting or just like capping fools.
My friend was showing me posts of people that I don't know if they've gone viral or whatnot, but it's like dude's got his gun on display and his clips and everything else, and shows all this stuff that he's got. He's like, yeah, come to my house, this is what you're getting. It's like,
there's a lot of that going on.
like daring people. Come to my house and this.
I know. I go.
this
The
is what
guy
you're
who's going to come to your house isn't really like. Well, maybe he is, huh? Maybe they are scouting people out on Instagram.
getting. They might be.
Hopefully, they're not trying to steal guns. That's
Whoa.
the thing. If some people might be trying to steal guns,
Well, I think the thing of it too, of like the mentality of I gotta show up in this way more aggressive than maybe a looter would be because I am not.
Could be a little bit of like
Gotta
I
make a
bought
statement.
guns. I bought guns. I was into guns. I got guns. I'm Mr. Gun Guy.
Yeah, and
but
like
I'm
you wanna
secretly.
take, like,
I don't think I
stuff?
can pull the trigger.
You-
I
you-
better fucking make some posts.
That's what you say.
There is a little bit of that, guaranteed. Or they're willing
That's
to
a
pull
good
the
look,
trigger.
though.
They're willing to pull the trigger, but they're still sitting ducks compared to the people that are, the badass motherfuckers that can rob you and kill you and take everything. That have those skills. That are bad guys that are gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's not just like you're gonna walk out there and armbar them.
No.
You gotta be like sitting on the roof, ready to go. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like.
Well, so is that kind of like where your headspace is at right now? Like you personally, like.
Obviously
with all
it is
this
a little
stuff?
bit, right? I'm just kind of, to be honest, like today, it kind of hit me
Yeah.
a little bit more than other days, and I started
Yeah.
getting worried. like even coming here, I was like, my wife was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, you never know. Like, you're going out now. You're going into this place. I'm like, yeah, she might be right.
Yeah.
But I was headed out over on this side anyways. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I just had a feeling we need to do it. So hopefully people are listening.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was, people want to hear it. But I think, in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
it could get crazy. It'd be cool if we figured out a way for us to like Skype it from our houses.
Well, I was just talking to Scott about that too, because that's important. I wanted to be able to work on that as well, because I feel the same like you. I don't want to leave the house unless I want to go like hunting and gathering.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Foraging.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to let anybody know where I'm going or what I'm doing, and because they're locking down the beaches already. They're gonna put us, I guess, on Wednesday.
Yeah, $5,000
fine. So it's happening. And the way things are going, it's like, yeah, I really don't want to leave my house, bro.
Yeah,
like I really want to.
I'm starting to get there.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, I mean, is it a fear standpoint? Yes, but it's like wisdom with some fear. I'm not calling myself a wise person.
No,
but when you have knowledge and experience with the fear as an indicator of how to move, it's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay home, bro. Because I know what I'm capable of when I'm there, and if I gotta leave, like say something shit goes wrong, whatever, and I gotta head out.
You catch the shit, or you gotta bounce.
I gotta bounce.
But bounce off island?
Yeah, because my uncle, they got boats and stuff. And
so that shit's not being regulated?
For them, no.
Like, man, at the harbor?
My family is kind of like outlaws, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when we do our own thing a lot of times, especially on Molokai, so it's like, they're not outlaws, they're just people.
Molokai, I can see that being like happening a little more here.
And so like I talked to my auntie and uncle.
They'll come and get you.
Yeah, they're like, yo, we'll come get you. Because if you look at it this way, it's like I'm their nephew and I'm able-bodied. They're older and they have my other cousins, but they're like kind of younger and different. So I add something to what they got going on. So they're like, you, your brother, your sister, let's go.
Man, hopefully they don't put you on the boat and then you secretly had Carizi and then bang.
I wouldn't do that to them.
The one island that don't got shit.
I wouldn't do that to them.
No, but no, you wouldn't know. That's the thing. If you knew, of course
what
you
if
would. That'd be so messed up.
What if I was quarantined all that time though at my own house and nothing happened? And then I would. Yeah. That could work, right?
I mean, I don't know. But that seems way better. That seems like a good plan. Yeah, right?
I would hope so. But I mean, this is all hypothetical. So that's what I mean. It's like I think of these things of like
that would make sense. That would make sense. If you did the full 14 days and then went right down there, you just got to make sure you didn't touch one thing.
Like nobody, yeah, I know. That's the hard one. But then it's like, so in these ways, like the things that are happening, it's like, you just want to be prepared, in that sense. It's like all the times, like I thought about having a bug out bag, like I was telling you.
Yeah, I've been hearing about the bug out bag.
It's important. And then also like trekking bag. Like if you gotta like freaking be out in the forest for a few days because somebody's trying to raid your house, like take my shit, I'm out, I'm gone. I got all I need and I'm fine. But it's different, it's like you have a family. So, and like the interpretation of what that is very different for me because I don't have one. Like I'm like on my own. So,
bro, we were talking about just like as soon as we can, like getting out of here.
That's what you're saying, yeah?
Flying out of here.
Yep.
And like somewhere where we might be able to scrape up enough money to like maybe pay 3-4 months rent somewhere, like a cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just hide out.
Yeah, they're talking like that.
We're talking like that.
That's wow. How's that?
That's just us like staying up late watching fucking CNN and shit. But like not really when it's CNN, but I do get up and watch the news, like Good Morning America or Hawaii, Wake Up Hawaii. I always watch the local ones, but they're just waiting for Trump to fucking talk again. You know what I mean? Like basically they're just telling you what Trump said. And then locally, they're telling you what's going down, which is crazy. But I did just, like, today's the first day that it was the testing site in Wailuku. Anyways, I know there's multiple testing sites, but the Wailuku testing site was open, right? So like, people can drive up and get tested there. And I was, like, expecting, it obviously still could be flooded with cars.
Right.
And I just had this mental picture that I'm going to drive around the corner past Baldwin and go by War Memorial, where the tents are already set up. And there's just going to be people, like car after car after car after car. And just people, like I just kept having that in my head. And then when I went by this morning, I'm like, here we go. Yeah. They were all there. It didn't look like many people at all. You know what I mean? It looked like they were there waiting for people.
Yeah.
But it didn't actually look like no one was there. I was like, there was a few cars, but I think that was of the people.
Right.
So I was like,
yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? But what's scary is
relief.
What's scary is like knowing or just thinking about that and then knowing it could happen still.
So did you ever have these kinds of talks with your wife before? Like the things you're talking about right now? No.
What do you mean, like let's get out of here type stuff?
Yeah.
Before what?
Before all of this was going down, you guys ever have those kind of talks? No.
No, but like before all
'Cause
this
there
was
just
going
wasn't a
down, we
need.
weren't planning on going anywhere. But because of this stuff going on and the way like Hawaii, especially Maui, and the way these guys are handling it. You know what I mean? It seems like we're sitting ducks. You know what I mean? Like it seems like we're sitting ducks. Like and these guys have already jacked us. They've already jacked us.
did.
So it's like you can't take time back.
No.
So the island, like I don't know. You know, it seems like a disease could wipe over the fucking island. You know what I mean? So like, is that more of a sketchy place or a safer place? I don't really know the answer. Some people are like, oh, it seems like out there in the middle of the island, the ocean would be like super safe. I'm like, I don't know. Is that? Or also, we're all these people that have the shit.
What is your honest opinion
about
that? Like how people have said, oh, it seems safe, but then you're like, oh, a disease could wipe us out. Like, what is? Are you?
I really don't know. So that's my first thing is like, fuck, I don't know, because you could make both make sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like both could completely make sense. I'm like, well, we're isolated away from where all the shit is.
Yeah.
But it like if Hawaii becomes 100% red, that's what I'm thinking of, like the little thing where it's red. You know what I mean? Where like the infected parts. You know what I mean? And then like let's say the whole fucking island is red, and then you go to the big chunk like the mainland, and then there's like some pieces that aren't red.
Yeah.
Don't you want to get to those pieces right now? You know what I mean? Like so you're like basically you're the dude on Titanic. But you either gonna be the dude who there was two, right? You were the guy who drowned and the lady who lived. Bro, the lady who lived got the fuck out and went to that little spot with no red. But no, I'm joking. When I drove past the place, the testing place, I felt like we weren't in the red.
No, bro.
Maybe I'm not going nowhere. I just want to be safe, bro.
No,
I just want to be safe,
you.
because if it's by myself, I am out in the woods.
Yeah.
I really am out in the woods, camping, and like ready to kill people. You know what I mean? Like I'm down for that, but I'm in my house in the city, and like I got 3 girls in my house.
Yeah.
A cat and a dog.
But that's why I like exploring this,
we're exploring, bro.
The psychology of it all, because of the psyche that's happening. Like you said, you haven't had this conversation with your wife before. Everything's very different. You don't know whether or not it's better to go to the mainland because there will be not so red, and we go full red.
Or even
it's an interesting topic because I don't know how many people go that way.
Yeah. Well, I think plenty of people are going that way.
The whole country's going full red.
They're going full red. Is
The
what you're
whole,
saying.
us included. It's all going full red.
It's
It's all going red.
We
Yeah.
couldn't
Okay.
stop it in time. The whole fucking country.
So it's going.
Completely.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, worse than Italy.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Scott's saying worse than Italy. What do you think? You think
Worse
it's
than Italy.
like it can be worse than Italy. Is what he's projecting.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Bro.
This is good topics.
We already had 100 today die.
See?
The numbers are going to start growing bigger and bigger and bigger and faster now. And we still haven't put anything in place. This island's been fucking cruise ship, airplane,
Yeah.
bringing from around the world. Nothing has stopped.
Right.
Like, it's just a matter of time.
You know,
And resources are getting
Kauai seems a little ahead of the
Right.
curve on that whole entire island just shutting down.
Yeah.
Like what we're gonna do on
They have a
Wednesday.
lot less
What we're
people.
gonna do on Wednesday,
Yeah.
they've been doing. And if what they do on Wednesday should be like, there's no way I can get here
Right.
the way I got here today.
Right.
I drove from Iluku all the way over here, and on the way here, bro, lots of people driving around.
Yo, there's tons of people moving, bro.
And fucking Whole Foods is banging right now.
Yeah, like ain't nobody taking it that seriously out here, to be honest.
Well, the grocery stores are always going to be open, so
They
people are stocking up, which today is one of the last days before the lockdown, so in a way,
Yeah.
it does make sense for people to be like, oh shit, especially the people that didn't get anything taken care of in time, last minute shoppers, you know?
Right.
So, there's that,
Shit.
you know?
Yeah, and so what I think of it is too, and this is just another perspective on it is, okay, so we've all seen the information of how nature has changed and has kind of healed itself in the times that we're in. So if things are only gonna get worse for us here in the United States and everybody goes back, into self-isolation and quarantine in the ways that these other European countries have done and wherever else it's been affecting, what do you think is going to change like externally for us? Have you ever thought about that?
Externally, what do you mean?
Like, if...
What are the big changes that are gonna happen after this stuff comes back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like let's say
everything
less movement of human beings, less foot traffic all over the place, like, what are our beaches gonna look like? What are our skies gonna look like?
Well,
What are
right
our-
now, like it's beautiful outside. I don't know where it looks like everywhere else, but
Yeah.
I was almost like it's almost like more beautiful than usual.
Right.
And I'm like,
That's how I
and then
feel
my wife
already.
is like, the whole world gets to breathe right now,
Yeah.
and they haven't took a breath in a long time, Joel.
Dude.
And I was like,
Well,
She said that.
100 million metric tons less carbon per day. Out
yeah,
there.
yeah,
See?
yeah. So
There
like
was
all
dolphins,
the like
there's dolphins swimming in the canals in Venice.
Right.
Like, but
it's taking a deep breath, but what's happening is it's reversing all the polluting that we did to the fucking earth. Now they're polluting us. I don't know if it's the earth, but we're being the ones being polluted, you know. And like it looks beautiful outside, and motherfuckers is dying. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I know. Isn't that a trip?
and the birds and the dolphins is loving life. They're not dying. They're not catching this shit.
No, bro.
Dolphins ain't catching charisma, bro.
Yo.
They're fucking cruising right now.
Birds have been singing out in these cities in China that haven't been heard in like 30 years, 20 years.
Wow, was
They're
that
coming
you
back.
just freestyled that right there?
No,
That's
my
true.
friend was telling me, and he showed me an article about it. So I forget the source, but I was like, wow, is this real? Like, I'm wondering, is it real? Because we're on an
That's
island.
real.
I don't
Real.
know. I
No,
see
it's
these
real.
things, and I'm like, is
I
it
noticed
real?
more birds than normal
Yeah.
lately.
Like, bruh, and so what I'm saying is like, so like you said, people are dying, and the world's getting more beautiful. What does that mean?
or you're just noticing it because there's less people out.
It
And
means
that too.
it means
Well,
that
that's
humans
been
are like a cancer, or can be like a cancer.
Can be.
Obviously.
I think
like,
the kind
we're-
of
you know
Humans we create in the society we have makes a kind of cancerous type of person, or they just like
what
take
if what
things.
if it's all a simulation? Like let's create humans and like in this little ant jar and like let's see what they do. Let's see what these guys do. Let's give them this and this, and then we can add that, and then like whenever something gets created, that's when they just add something. So at first they're like
We're
dirt.
just we're
They're
just-
like, let's do some monsters, dinosaurs.
Let's do some monsters.
Now there's dinosaurs,
We're
okay?
just NPCs. We're just NPCs.
Yeah,
in, like,
bro.
Civilization
Yeah.
6.
We're just going.
And
Not
right,
playable
yeah.
characters, bro.
Well, isn't that kind of like almost Hunger Games, right? Because they were like add in death ants, right? Or
Yeah,
death,
yeah,
you know,
It's
they
a
were
game
just
show. Yeah, total game show.
yeah. That would be
It's the
crazy.
Sims. We're just the Sims.
I feel ya.
But what the part that trips me out most about that is how deep emotion gets.
Yeah, bro.
That'd be some seriously technical design for
Yes.
somebody to design somebody as technical as we are. You know.
Well, that's why I don't believe it, because there's so many things that I've just experienced in my own life that would say you cannot calculate for this. There is no way an algorithm would have designed or found
But
this
what if
out
that
because
memory
it
was
happened.
put into you?
Sure.
Is it put into me? Is it put into me?
Well, of course we
Or
don't
is
know
there
the answer to
communica-
that. We're
or
saying
is-
it's
or is
definitely
there
a what if
communication?
thing.
Everybody watch Blade Runner.
Or is
Everybody
it-
watch Blade
I watched
Runner.
Blade Runner.
The new one?
That's the whole concept of Blade Runner
Right.
is they create these beings that they think they're real and
They think they're
plant real memories to make them think they're even more real.
True.
Isn't that fucking Total Recall?
Yet.
Total Recall is they switch a guy's memory.
Yeah.
That's
because
right.
he
You can
was-
make it however you want.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You know what? How dope would it be to just slip into the fucking Matrix right now, or fucking?
I mean, a lot of
Total
people argue
Recall
we
and
are
just
in the
be like,
Matrix.
I'll take this one. Where this is going on right
Why
now.
oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Well, a lot of
Total
people
Recall,
argue-
you just design what your life is. So I'm like, boom, first thing, no charisma. Second thing, life is good.
Didn't Elon Musk even admit we're most likely a simulation?
I think
Yeah,
he
that's what people
smoked
keep
weed for
saying,
the first
but I-
time while I said it.
Well,
I feel like it's a
It's
very
not Joe
transhumanist
Rogan.
way of being. Like, I feel like all these guys, if they've ever practiced like an indigenous culture and like lived in those ways out in the thing, it's like that would never cross your mind because there's just too many things and factors that are happening. Like
It
we
couldn't
talk
have
this
been
way
reality
because
until we created
because
computers
we're
for it
doing
to
this.
become a reality.
Kale, you got any family in
we're
the
doing
mainland?
this. Yeah, my parents are actually in New York, and then my sister.
They
is
live in New York?
Yeah.
And have you been talking with them?
Upstate. Yeah, they're
You
doing
guys are
good.
tight?
Yeah, me and my parents.
Some people, that's what I asked. But like,
Yeah, we're good.
so would you be like how are they doing?
They're doing good. They're in upstate New York, so.
They're not worried?
No, because they already got their pantry taken care of. They're set for 2 years. They know how to grow food where they at. They take care of themselves.
If shit got crazy for us or your situation,
Yeah.
does the thought of like fuck I'm gonna go like where my parents are and like make sure they're good and like just do the family thing, is that, or you're just like, man,
No.
I'm already here, this is my spot?
Yeah. And that, it's like I'll go to Molokai. Like that's it. I'll be with that family. My parents, they're in New York. It's too far. Whatever happens, happens. Like that's why I talk to them the way I do. We have a good relationship because long before this had come about, I wanted to be sure that they know who their son is and I know who my mom and dad are. Because if you're gonna die, then it's most important to me and to them that we really know who we are and what we're doing in our lives. So, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to die. I don't cling to life. I love my parents. I'll do anything for them. But
What happens if pops is like, I need you? Something's going down with mom's.
They
I
wouldn't do that. They would say, we're coming to you, or we'll meet you in California or something at my cousin's place. They'll do something halfway.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes. They'll be like, your mom's suffering. We gotta go. I'm gonna take her. He would drive cross country for my mom if we needed to.
But would you go?
Yeah, I would go if they needed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've had that conversation.
Just let me know if you need me, and then I'll be there.
Yeah, and then they're like, no.
Yeah, they're always gonna be like,
Yeah.
Like that's how my parents are.
Right.
I'm like, what do you mean my mom has cancer? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't want you to know. I'm like, oh, I don't want that.
No,
You know?
don't do that.
But that's how they are.
Yeah.
Like no matter what I say, they're out there like naturally don't want to worry.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I
just don't
mean?
wanna worry you.
So
But that's
it's
the
like-
thing of it. It's like not worrying you or not telling you the truth is actually more detrimental to your own health and sanity. If they would just tell you, then you can actually regulate something.
Assuming that I'll know one day.
That you should.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
they
Because
should
if you
tell
never know, I guess it doesn't matter. But
Like-
the thing is you find out, and then it's
Right.
like, fuck.
But that's
you
the
know?
thing. That's bullshit. I mean, it's like family secrets. It's poison.
It is.
You know
It's
what
a
I
little
mean?
different than if it's like something fucked up and they kept the secret. But like like evil,
Bro.
you know. But like
Oh sure.
but the thought behind their head being just like, oh man, I don't want to put worry. He's got his family. I don't want to put worry in his heart. That's like coming from a good place.
Yeah, it's coming
but
from a good place.
You gotta let me be your son. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
You gotta
that's
let
what
me
I
be
mean.
your son.
Like,
You know.
that's the kind of openness that I'm talking about. It's like when you're able to share those things without this hindrance of wanting to supposedly think that you're going to be worried so badly about it, however it may be. It's like those are emotions we have to tap into. It's an emotional intelligence that if we don't go there with each other as people that are in relationship with one another, you don't choose your family, then what are we really doing? I don't know. Like, please tell me what your heartaches and worries are so I can understand them for myself and for you. So if something goes crazy, we're not here losing our minds. Like, we know where to be and what to do for each other. So, for example, like, if my parents, something drastic had happened, right?
Yes.
They're like, Kale, like, we need you. Okay, I'll go. But when we have the conversation, they say if something drastic like that would happen, we'll take care of it ourselves and we will come to where you're at. Because they both want to be here in Hawaii, it's just circumstances haven't allowed for it yet.
Yeah.
But so, meet us halfway. Okay,
Right.
we'll meet you halfway. And then that's it. Then
Yeah.
like, they have me as a son who can take care of himself, take care of others because I know how to do all that other stuff. So they're like, all right. But then again, at the same time, it's like my parents are learning about their aging and how, you know, what death is.
Yes. You know, the older
That's
you
hard.
see with the older people though, they're very much like stop giving a fuck style.
They
You know,
care.
they're like, look, Joel.
Yeah.
There's not much time left anyway. Not if you're
Exactly,
these guys.
see?
I had my neighbor, you know, like.
That's what I'm talking
Do you
about.
remember when we got the fake thing on the phones that the bomb is coming or whatever?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was?
the missile
I
threat.
can't even remember that. Missile, right? The
The
missile.
missile threat, bro.
So do you remember how chaotic that was? That
Yes,
one day,
bro.
right in Hawaii. Well, during that time, I have these older elderly neighbors, you know, and like I went out and I was like, man, like, what's going on with this? And he's just like, Joel, if it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
He didn't give a shit. I
No,
could see it in
he's
his
out there
eyes.
gardening.
He's just going about his day. But
Yeah.
he just looked at me like, man, what do you want me to do, Joel? What do you want me to do?
Drinking
You want me to, is the whole island gonna get hit by a thing? Like, you want me to
Yeah.
run over there, run over here? It's like, I'm
It's
like, it must be nice to be. Sometimes it must be nice to be 75.
dude.
You know, because the end is. I don't even. I feel fucked up saying that, but like
No,
the end
no,
being
no.
near, sometimes, or at least what you think is the end, right? Like it could be a beautiful thing, you know.
It is a beautiful thing, like the sense of this is what I kind of said before. It's like when you have an awareness of death, it's going to put you into a place of what's important. You can have a to-do list. You can have all these things in your mind that you're creating. So like here's a story, for example. Like I got a couple stories about it. So an elder goes with a bunch of kids, takes them to an orchard. Just say like a fruit orchard, whatever it may be. He goes to these kids and he says to them, grab me a fruit. Okay? One kid runs all the way to the end of the orchard and wants to grab a fruit from the end of the orchard.
Yeah.
One kid's climbing to the top, wants to get the highest one on the tree of the fruit. One kid's looking for the brightest one. The other kid's looking for the biggest one. One kid comes over there, he sees a fruit on the ground, picks it up, gives it to the elder. The kids are creating whatever that means in their own head. The elder simply said, grab me a fruit. And the one kid that grabs the one on the ground doesn't look at it as a bad fruit or a fruit that's dead. or whatever.
He wasn't thinking that the guy's gonna eat it. He just did what he was told.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then the creation of whatever you have in your own mind, you project it, and where is it coming from and why? Death is like that. You think about death as being all these things. No, it's simply you're a fruit. You've had a whole life on this tree, and now you've given yourself up. You've fallen on the ground. Now, that is an offering for something else to grow.
Yeah, but
You can possibly become a tree.
That's a death for like a fully, a long life.
True, that is.
So when like young people get taken out, drive-bys, whatever is fucked up way you want to say.
It's like got cut out.
Then it's like, well, what the fuck is that about? You know what I mean?
There?
What the fuck is that? How is that cool? You know what I mean?
Right.
When you get, I like the old man. That's what I was saying. Like, you get to be 75, something like this comes along. You're like, looks like we're all getting taken out. You're like, God damn, I'm so lucky. I made 75
Yes,
years.
exactly.
All these people that are dying at young, they never even got 60. They never got 50 years. I got 75. So like,
gratitude. Man.
I do honestly, and I felt like this for years. Not like a lot of years, my whole life, but maybe like the last 5 years. I've really. Every year, like on my birthday, not just on my birthday, but every year, I'm like, man, I can't believe I made it another year.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. Like, it's so awesome that I can do that, that I made it, doing whatever I want.
Dude, and it's like, with that gratitude too, it kind of goes back to what you were saying about the skills that you learn, from everybody who's 16 and older, and it's like, what skills have you learned? What have you acquired? What have you done with your life? And it's like, in those ways, have you been preparing for what could possibly be in your mind, like, impossible, but it's happening.
Just being physically fit. Just being physically fit.
Mentally strong.
Jiu-jitsu, you're going to get physically fit and you have, like, crazy skills, you know? But, like, if you can't, like, go for a run, like, and have it be easy, you know what I mean? Like, some people can get up and just jog 5 miles right now. And it's no big deal. And if they got to sprint, okay, that too. So it's like... that's great skill to have, which maybe it didn't mean shit. You don't even play sports, bro. Why do you need that? Well, now somebody's chasing you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't you wish you had that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It just means being a human in my mind.
Efficient human.
Efficient human,
Efficient human. And
That's
you know what? That's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Being efficient. Being efficient is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
so, there's definitely a bunch of skills other than actual jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have spent more time doing that.
Sure.
I wish I would have learned how to hunt. How many times was like, that'd be cool, but I don't like killing animals. But now I'm like, I'll eat them, but I'm just like, I can't do it, dude. I don't know if I can pull the trigger. But like, I was always that guy, but I'm like, now I could, but I wish I would have just learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chad did you see that video of him on his Instagram? He just has the deer. He's just like, the skin's off. He's just cutting it, quartering it, getting nuts on it. He just...
Awesome.
Chad getting savage.
No, that's good. He killed that deer himself?
Yeah.
Nice.
He
has a gun?
He got a bird gun.
Oh,
he
yeah,
calls
that's
it
right.
a bird gun.
How did you take out a deer with a bird gun?
I'm like, what is a bird gun?
What is that, bro?
I don't know.
You didn't just shoot a deer with like a 45, like a 22.
What is a bird gun?
Yo, what's a bird gun?
A bird. It's there.
Gun.
It's there to shoot birds.
A pellet gun.
Yeah.
How is he gonna kill a deer with a pellet gun?
Holy shit! Is it a pellet gun? How much harder does it sound?
Unless it's a shotgun with bird
buckshot.
Knowing Chad, it's definitely a pellet gun, and he's like, I'm gonna call it a bird gun because it sounds twice as cool. I'm like, it does sound twice as cool.
Somebody killed that deer.
I'm like,
we gotta talk to him.
Like a bird gun? Like what is a bird gun? You know? Like I'm trying to think of anybody I've ever seen shoot a bird. I'm like, okay. Isn't that just a rifle? You know what I mean? You know? He's like, nah, son, it's a bird gun.
Yo, but see, that's what I'm saying is like, in that sense, it's like, okay, let's talk about jiu-jitsu just solely. Like, jiu-jitsu is about being efficient, right? Jiu-jitsu is that the thing about jiu-jitsu has a lot of carryover though. Like you develop a certain kind of bodily mastery, right, and aptitude and like precision, like dexterity with your hands. That your mind, physical attachment. When you apply yourself to a lot of other things with that kind of jiu-jitsu background, it's like you acquire it that much quicker. There's something to it that lends itself.
The ability to stay patient while problem solving.
That whole thing. There you go.
That's what it is. I mean, the ability to stay patient while you have to figure this thing out that normally might frustrate you.
Right.
Like my daughter, they're playing a lot with Legos right now.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, they're getting good at them too. I'm like, that's so awesome. It's so good for your brain to have a toy like that.
Yeah.
And you're like obsessed with that. And then like they're playing that, but then they'll get frustrated and have that big moment where it's like, you just let out the, and they throw it down. And I'm like, I told Autumn, she's looking at me like with those 8-year-old like, huh? You know, eyes. And I'm like, I'm like, you know, when I was young, I got so frustrated with so many of my toys or a video game or whatever it was, and I would, schoolwork, all these things, and I would have those moments like you just had,
Right.
where I threw it down and I felt so much frustration.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me, she's like, okay, what's your point? And I'm like, but as I got older and I started to do jujitsu, I realized that there's just levels to things.
Yes.
So like there's people that can do that thing so easily and there's no stress,
Right.
and you are at a level where there's a little stress. But think about how much better you are at Legos than when you first started. And I just like it's like night and day. And she's like, oh yeah, and I'm like,
that's
so
right.
you're up a different level, but you're just at a now you're trying to get better. You're trying to build these advanced things.
Yeah.
You're trying to up your level
Yeah.
to make it challenging, and it's hard. If you went one level down, you could build that phone or whatever the other thing is you build. You could build those all day easy. Now you want to build the elephant. You know what I mean? So it's a little harder, you know? But once you get it down, you'll have that. You'll have mastered the elephant, and then you're going to move on to this, and then move on to that. And at one point, you'll be able to build anything. You just look at the picture, and you're like, got it. You know what I mean?
No, totally, dude. Yeah, that's one of the things that requires a lot. It's like remembering to remember, like remember where you came from, so then you can know how far you've gone to get to where you're at. Because then if you're getting so frustrated in the present moment of what's going on, and you kind of forgotten about the levels that you.
The levels, bro. You got to represent about the levels.
Yeah.
Because even if you're on level 1, there's a million people that are on level 1 with you, and
Yeah.
you could be the best of everyone on level 1.
Yeah.
The person that's closest to graduating to level
Right.
2 could be you, which is a special title.
Sure.
I'm the best of everyone in level 1. Yeah, you're the best. That's just like being a black belt or just being like the champion.
Sure.
You're the best. Out of this little category, you're fucking Anderson Silva. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're John Jones. And then we're going to move up to the next one. When we move up to the next one, it's going to be frustrating at the beginning. But the second we start getting past that frustration, you already know you're halfway to going to the next. You know?
Right.
So I had nobody to break it down like that.
Yeah.
You know? And then the belt system is cool because it just right away you're like, oh yeah, I get it. You master something.
Right.
It's easy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes easier.
True.
Like, dude, I don't know, but for me, when I was young and we had to run in school, I was so unathletic and like, so like out of shape. Like it was so hard.
Yeah.
Every time I had to run, it was like worse. It hurt, my breathing and all that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, since jiu-jitsu or getting older and wanting to get in shape,
Yeah.
you know,
Shifts.
you go for runs on purpose now.
Right.
Versus like hating it when it happens. So it's like levels.
Yeah, bro.
There's levels.
So now with like that understanding, and when I think about like the hunting and the fishing, the subsistence living type of things, and how that transfers, right? Like this mentality of the philosophy of, you know, you start something now and you develop it and you reach certain levels, but then it's also having the patience to go through the hard stuff that make you frustrated, because you know towards the end you can be really good at something that provides. You know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu provides. And I feel like having these things, like you as a black belt, you have a whole philosophy attached to the art form. It's not just the art form isolated. So you can apply that philosophy to everything that you do, and you get really good. It's like, I remember you told me the story of like how you grew up being a musician, and you became just a freaking virtuoso on the guitar, and you had your own band. But then you took that same kind of mentality of practice,
How to practice,
and applied it to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So that's what, all I'm saying is, there is a capacity and a competency that comes with this kind of art form, but then it also requires something from the person themselves to have that philosophy, so that whatever they do, they can get really good at it quickly.
Yeah, and you need other people to help you. Like if
That's
it wasn't
Teachers.
if it wasn't for my dad like making me do it, you know, like he kind of like made me. He knew I wanted to get good, so he made me practice.
forceful,
And then like once I got good, I kind of just like, oh, I can even get better than this if I kept practicing. And then it was like cool to be good.
Yes.
The second I was good and I recognized to other people, that's cool how you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I've seen that before. It's
No,
like,
I was like, oh,
that was
he's
sick.
Yeah.
Then I was
Sure.
like, oh, I have. It's, you know what's crazy is like people say they don't care what other people think, but it's like all about other people.
Oh, you do. We're relational.
It's all about other people.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you could be in a room by yourself and be like, play something and be like, yeah,
It's all
you
relational.
pumped, you got it. You know, you pumped, you got it. But then you play in front of a crowd and they're cheering. You just feel so special about yourself. You
That's
know what
another
I mean?
reason why we're not in the Matrix, bro. That's another reason. Because you care about what other people think. It's not just your existential thing that you're just creating for yourself.
Some
Other people are contributing to it. And then they too, are they all part of a program as well? It's like you gotta think about that. or is it actually an emotional presence?
What's
that
crazy
there
is
with us?
there's moments where at the moment, I really don't care what anyone thinks. You know what I mean? You know, when you lose it or you get frustrated with the Lego or whatever it is, you lose it, right? So
Right.
that happens too. You know what I mean? Then you rationale and be like,
That's
okay, I
insane.
do care, I care. But like, how many times do people snap? You know,
Yeah.
even if it's just a minor snap. At that moment, it's like, I don't give a shit. You know, and then you're like, that's not the way I didn't mean it, but you just snap. You know?
Yeah, bro, I feel you.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. But anyway, I think that's such an interesting, challenging thing that we're faced with now, is because I really hope people come back to the roots of our existence. Like, why are we here? What are we doing? And what's important? Like, I was at the beach the other day. I put up a video on Instagram about it. But it was like, I try to go out to the beach. I try to go up into the forest every day that I can, because that is a reconnection to myself and to nature. That is the foundation of everything. And when I was out there, because of like the stress that I'm feeling, the frustration, the anger, the fear that comes, but then also how much I really enjoy a lot of these things, I started to see like, this is why we're alive. Because
What do you enjoy? Just being on nature, or enjoy
Yeah.
the chaos?
both.
Yeah, because there
Like,
is
I
that.
feel so much grief and sorrow for people that are dying. And that
It's
are suffering
interesting.
from it.
It
But-
is interesting to be a part of
Yeah.
a crazy piece of history, right? Whether it's
Yes.
interesting in a like oh shit way, or not like you're happy about it. It's
No.
just interesting. You know,
Yes.
it's like, I can't believe I am a part of history. Everything else we've ever lived through, other than like 9/11.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't think of anything besides 9/11. Like, I was born in
Yes.
1981.
Yeah.
What's significant? Like, oh my god, like you were alive when that happened.
Dude.
The only thing I can really remember is 9/11.
The
Yeah.
fucking internet. The world we live in right now
I don't
is
remember.
crazy.
Yeah, but
It is
I don't remember the day the internet was
when
invented.
Napster came out,
But I don't
that's
remember
when
what
it
I was
changed
doing
it for
then.
the world.
True.
That's when everything started becoming social and engaging. Was
True.
Do you remember the day, what you were doing the day that Napster came
Bill
out?
Joy.
I was on the internet before that. I've been surfing since like 92, 93. Like I
But
was
do you
waiting
know,
for
I
it to
remember
happen.
the day that and the moment that and where I was, what I was doing when I found out about it.
About 9/11. I
When I
know.
woke up
For
and then,
a lot of people, it's that way.
you know what I mean?
slept through 9/11.
I hear what you.
But you remember who told you when you first found out,
My
right?
mom called me and woke me up. Yeah,
Yep.
everybody does.
Yeah.
But there's tons of moments like that. I remember the first time I got online when I was young and like
Yeah.
went to a tech stock, and I was like, wait, this is at a university?
Yes.
What? That's crazy. All the medical breakthroughs we've had in our lifetime.
Oh no, the internet's
You
an
were busy.
amazing thing, but I felt
I
like it was one of those things where like slow build, you know?
Right.
Versus like planes crashing into buildings one day. Boom, you know?
Napster,
Like,
though, Napster changed the world just as much, I think.
oh yeah.
No,
Napster
it
was
did,
huge.
and I agree, and I think that's the thing of it is like, you know, Napster comes along, the internet, all those things, changed our whole understanding of what being social means and the ability to transfer information and all that kind of stuff. Rocked us. But you see, the thing of it is, it's looked at as a benefit for our society. When you talk about 9/11, that's something that negatively affected us. And guess what people always remember? The things that are hurtful or cause pain or are supposedly negative in your mind. Why does everybody remember that? You see what I mean?
So that goes back to our base
Right.
human survival.
Right?
Like when something is bad, it's just a matter. It goes back to before we were thinking even like this.
Yeah.
If something hurt you, it was bad. Survival says no.
Right.
So that's in our like reptilian base
Right.
brain. Those concepts they lie like deep in our survival.
Well, I feel like
base.
war is always a part. Like you learn about war. You learn about war in like movies and cartoons and like action figures, and you learn about war, right? Growing up, and you like, hear about wars. But then it's like this whole time goes by and nobody's ever attacked us. You know what I mean? So you kind of like you hear about it. You got these stories from your parents.
Yep.
Like they were around, but then all of a sudden it happens. You know what I mean? And then it's like, holy shit, we've been thinking about war,
Dude.
like watching people attack each other, but it never really happened.
Yeah.
At least in that lifetime.
No, man, for sure.
Well, how far does it have to be removed for it to not be real?
Yeah.
Because we said there's no war, but there's our
Bro.
whole generation.
You're right.
There's hundreds of millions of kids who have
Dude,
never
we've
known
been-
anything but war.
Yeah, we've been warring
You know,
for a
that's a
long
trip.
time.
We
That's
live
true.
the privilege. Always remember, we're on Maui. We live the life of lives, the dream of dreams of the whole planet.
Yeah.
Like we have some of the most fortunate realities in the world. Like to have food and clean air and be able to follow our dreams and passions. There's
the
some
Matrix.
kids when they're young, when they get given a machine gun and they're like, "You're gonna kill people or we're gonna kill you."
Yeah.
Like that's shitty.
So, does that add to the point that we are in the Matrix, or does it somehow not? I find it so interesting.
I think somehow not more.
Because it's like, how can we say that somehow it's the Matrix when some kid has been living through war torn the entire time, and then we're living some of the best realities? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would the Matrix apply that? Why would it do that? Why would we go through life?
Maybe there has to be a balance of positive and negative.
Is it a balance though? I don't believe in that either.
I don't either. I'm tossing the idea.
Yeah, I don't know about the balance thing.
They're just
Balance
tossing
is
it out.
Yeah, but so that's what I mean. It's like in the sense of it, like the negative effects that have been going on in our lives. We have had the privilege of having our wars and our violence outsourced to other people, and therefore we become an affluent society. And now we're being rocked by this virus. Is there some kind of divine plan? I don't believe that. I just think that there is certain things that have happened, and it's consequential. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't
Well,
matter.
that's for sure.
Yeah. So it's
But we're
like,
trying to get deeper than that, son. Come on.
are we? I thought that was pretty deep because a lot of people function on good, bad, right, or wrong.
True.
I'm saying there's possibilities, and whatever your intentions are, fuck your intentions.
I'm a little bit saying, have you seen Moana? Have you seen Moana? Can somebody return the fucking heart? Can you
Heart of Tafiti?
return the fucking heart back to fucking Tafiti?
That's what we need to do.
And the fucking black shit will go off the fucking island.
That's what
Jesus
it's up, bro.
Christ, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna go watch Moana right now. with my
Yeah, we
daughter.
need to. I need some
Jits and
comfort.
Booch podcast 2020. We're gonna figure out when the next one's coming, guys.
Wednesday at noon.
But I gotta be
Jeez.
honest, it's starting to trip me out leaving the house, bro. It's starting to trip me out leaving the house. I wonder if there's a way for us to all be on our phones and like either split screen and
Not phones, we can do it, but
Laptop.
it's gonna be tricky. We can use laptops, yeah.
I gotta have a laptop.
You don't have a laptop?
You have a PlayStation.
I got a
You can
PS
do it with a PlayStation.
and a TV.
See? You
Yeah.
bought
I
that
don't
for
gotta
a
buy a
reason.
camera. I don't gotta buy a camera.
That was a good buy,
I
bro.
have actually a PlayStation camera that you can use.
Aw.
Oh shit! So now it's on the gun.
Working.
All right.
It's working.
Just quick update on the PS4.
Yeah.
Brand new video game system in my house. Never really had a video game system in my house since I was like, I don't know, 13. My 8-year-old and my 4-year-old going nuts right now playing WWE.
WWE.
Yeah, that's what they like the most, bro. I got WWE. I got Sonic Racing. I got Cars Racing because I was just looking for
one
game
of
modes.
the Mortal Kombats for you.
What's that?
One of the Mortal Kombats I grabbed for you.
Fuck yeah.
And a couple other ones.
Hell
I
yeah.
think I might have to run and grab them real quick though. But yeah.
Violent and gory.
I'll be pumped for that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
And we're gonna upload this to Twitch. We're gonna upload this to IOU Studios Twitch. So if you're able to check that out, put that on your little thing that you look at. You'll always find us there, as well as my YouTube. This one will be uploaded to Joel Bowie YouTube. And don't forget to follow my man Khaled Fit on Instagram.
Shoot.
And
We have all those coming up soon.
nothing but love. Please get the sanitary wipes and wipe your door handle. Wipe your door, the handle to your door of your house.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wipe that
Yeah.
because the inside of your house is all disinfected.
The whole thing.
And then you got
man.
your car's disinfected. You did your hands, but you never cleaned the door, and bam! Every time you touch the door, charisma.
Charisma.
Peace.
Nice.
See, it all goes out streaming.